Fortune Cookie 45LC coming to you from the hot lead zone, and this video is an actual bench test reloading use evaluation for the new Lee Classic powder measure. Now with our cast iron chassis, it's important to take the parts out and disassemble so that we can degrease all of the important channels in there. We don't want to have any leftover oils or greases from manufacture causing problems for our powder. So we've got accurate number 9 powder in here. That's a very fine powder, but it shouldn't meter very accurately because of the fine particles. But the problem with fine particles is that this is a good test for powder leakage. And this knob is snugged up. So we've got this set for 11.1 grains, and we're going to throw about 20 charges to get the powder settled. Now it's very obvious running those 20 charges that the action when powder is going through is not smooth, and we're getting a lot of powder leakage, as you can see there, and as you can see here. We don't like that, but it might just be the number 9 powder that's causing that. That's how much powder leaked just doing 20 throws. Well, I've got a new camera, so unfortunately I've got to give you this angle on the proceedings. But you'll see here that I'm dumping a charge into a case, and you'll be able to actually read the readout there. We want 11.1, we're getting 11.0. Let's do another one. Got 11.2 that time. $11.1 that time. So 3 charges varying from 11.0 to 11.2, but averages out to 11.1. $11.1 again. And 11.1 again. So you see the throws are very accurate with the number 9 powder. But if you listen carefully, you can actually hear the leakage of the powder hitting this piece of paper down underneath. Listen carefully. The leakage is really bad. There's 22.2, which is 2 times 11.1, so we're getting good accurate throws. But this is really a nuisance, and I shouldn't have to crank that knob any tighter than I got it. Situation, you take the brass micrometer metering drum out, and you'll see that there's lots of powder that gets past the little trough there that's supposed to stop the leakage, but the powder leaks out. And in fact, when you run the measure, you can actually see powder coming out. So here you see we've installed one of the auto drum inserts, the nylon inserts, to the classic powder measure, and we'll just go ahead and throw some charges to settle the powder. Sorry to say, I'm seeing some powder that's landing on this bracket. So there's some leakage here with the nylon one also. The action is much better with the nylon insert than it is with the brass micrometer. So let's go ahead, and that's settled now. Let's go ahead and start adjusting the powder charge. So once again, you can see me throwing charges and then weighing to see what kind of accuracy we're getting. So let's go ahead. Took us 4 adjustments to get it at 11.1, so it's quick. $11.1 right on the button. Well, it's 11.2. There's another 11.2. There's our third straight 11.2. There's 11.1. $11.2. Looks like I need to dial that down one more flat because we're getting 11.2 all the time. So you see we got good accurate throws with the nylon insert also. But the powder leakage is just as bad. Show you that. So I've got a sneaking suspicion that this powder measure will come into its own when you give it powder that it likes. So for our good friend Gapster46, I'm going to go ahead and use unique powder. This is a flake powder, and I don't expect this to leak at all. So let's go ahead and settle this powder with about 20 throws and see what we get. So here we go. What I'm getting is a very smooth action. That tells me the powder's not getting in there between the drum and the chassis. And in fact, I'm not seeing any powder leakage at all. The paper underneath is clean. Meter is set for 5.5 grains of unique powder. Let's go ahead and, oh, that's a smooth action. Like that. $5.3. $5.4. $5.8. $5.6. Sorry to say, we're all over the place. Uh-oh, 5.1, that's not good. Nothing's interfering with the throw here. $5.3. Sorry to report that we're not getting the accuracy with the flake powder of Unique that we were getting with the ball powder of the number 9. But the number 9 was leaking like a sieve. This isn't leaking at all. So we got good and bad here with both. So let's go ahead and switch to the auto drum nylon insert. We might get better accuracy with that. We've got the nylon removable drum insert installed, and we want 5.7 grains of Unique. There's 5.7. $5.7 again, as you can see. Zero. There we go. 5.8 on that one. Uh-oh, we got 5.5 there. $5.6. $5.8. $5.7. $5.6. So we got a little bit more variation than we're used to with this kind of insert. The Lee Auto Drum sure is a lot more accurate. This is close with unique. Let's do one more. $5.7. So probably if you were to average all those out, you got 5.7. But not as accurate as the Lee Auto Drum. But the good news is zero leakage with unique powder. Gapster 46, to be completely fair, I put that brass micrometer insert back in and repeated the test with the unique powder. And the action of that handle wasn't as smooth as I'd like, but it wasn't too bad. However, the throws give a lot of variation. We want 5.7, and we're getting some variation there that doesn't inspire a lot of confidence. If we use this measure for our rifle for sure, we would be putting the charge into a pan and trickling up with a scale. I can't explain why the new Lee Auto Drum powder measure is so accurate and good and leak proof and time saver and joy to use. But I would highly recommend this powder measure over the new Lee Classic that doesn't really give us any advantages, is not a joy to use, has some real problems with leakage, and we can get, for the cost of one of these, we can get two of these. But let's give some credit where credit's due. I loaded my first 108 rounds of 38 Ashley 357 Magnum loading, 11.1 grains of number 9 powder, and I used the Lee Classic powder measure to dispense all the powder charges because it's very accurate with number 9 powder. I can live with the leakage because I just collect the leakage and put it back in the hopper.